Have you ever stopped to think what your morning cup of green tea has in common with, say, cutting-edge cancer research? Well, the answer is a really powerful group of molecules called catechins. Today, we're going to dive into their incredible journey from a simple plant all the way to the pharmacy shelf and eventually the patient. All right, let's start with something you probably already know and love. Think about green tea, some good dark chocolate, and a handful of fresh berries. Now, besides being delicious, what's the one powerful scientific thread that ties them all together? The answer? Catechins. All of those things are just packed with this incredible family of compounds. And look, this isn't just for wellness bloggers. For us, people in this field, catechins are right at the heart of modern drug development. They're absolutely crucial for understanding the real science behind herbal medicine. To really get a handle on their impact, we first need to zoom in on their chemical nature. So what exactly are catechins? And, where do they even fit into the whole world of phytochemistry? Okay, so at their core, catechins are a major class of flavonoids, which are a specific type of polyphenol. These are compounds that pop up naturally in all sorts of medicinal plants, and they're pretty much the reason a lot of those plants have their therapeutic punch. So their real power comes down to a few core properties. They are incredibly potent antioxidants, which means they're great at neutralizing those nasty free radicals and fighting off cell damage. They're also seriously anti-inflammatory. And they come in a lot of different forms, including the one you've probably heard of, EGCG, or epigallocatechin gallate. That one's the superstar. It's the most abundant and potent catechin in green tea, and researchers are studying it like crazy for its therapeutic potential. Okay, so we've got the chemistry down, but here's the real question. How do you get these things out of a tea leaf and turn them into a standardized, reliable medicine that can actually be studied and used? Well, that's where the science of pharmacognosy comes into play. The journey always starts here, with these pretty common natural sources. Green tea is the most famous for sure, but cocoa, berries, and a whole bunch of other medicinal plants are also just loaded with these valuable compounds. And this is where pharmacognosy, the study of drugs from plants, really shines. It is a super precise, multi-step process. First, you've got to source the raw material. Then you use very specific techniques to extract and isolate the catechins. And this last step is crucial. You have to verify their purity and potency. Yeah, you can't just grind up a leaf and call it a day, not even close. And that final step, ensuring purity and potency, it is absolutely critical. In fact, it leads to one of the most important roles catechins play, not just in phytochemistry, but in the entire pharmaceutical industry. So here's the main point. Because catechins have these distinct, measurable properties, they get used as benchmarks. They're like the vital chemical signposts that tell researchers and manufacturers if an herbal drug is consistent, if it's potent, and if it's high quality. For all you future pharmacists out there, this is so key. When you're looking at an herbal formulation on the shelf, the catechin content can be your guarantee of standardization. It's how you know for a fact that the product you're holding today is the same quality as the one sold last month. Okay, so we followed catechins from the plant to a perfectly standardized product in the lab. Now for the most important part, right? What happens when they get to the patient? What do these things actually do in the body? The range of benefits is just incredibly broad. And this is where things get really, really exciting. We've got research exploring their role in cancer prevention. We're seeing neuroprotective effects, maybe even slowing down diseases like Parkinson's. There are anti-diabetic effects, protection for organs like the liver and heart, and even direct antimicrobial activity. It's just a huge spectrum of possible uses in the clinic. But, a list of benefits is one thing. How they actually work is another. How does one type of compound pull off so much? Well, the answer is all about its ability to talk to our body's most fundamental molecular signaling pathways. So here are two of the most important targets. On the left, you see catechins can block the NF-kappa B pathway. You can think of this as the master switch for inflammation in your body. By turning that pathway down, they can create a systemic, body-wide anti-inflammatory effect. Then on the right, they actually activate the NRF2 pathway. This is our body's own built-in antioxidant defense system. So get this, catechins don't just act as antioxidants, they actually flip a switch that tells our own cells to beef up their defenses. It's pretty amazing. All right, let's bring this all home. Let's talk about why understanding this whole journey from a plant all the way down to a molecular pathway is so essential for your future as a healthcare professional. So just take a second and really think about it. You're going to be the person that patients trust for advice on everything from prescription meds to herbal supplements. How will having this deeper understanding of natural compounds like catechins actually change the way you practice pharmacy? Because here is the ultimate takeaway. Understanding compounds like catechins isn't just about digging into the history of medicine. It's about its future. It's about a future of integrated healthcare where that line between natural and synthetic isn't about where it came from, but about evidence, quality, and a deep understanding of how it actually works in the human body.